Hey Scorpio, welcome to your weekly forecast for April 25th through May 1st. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to connect here and see what messages are coming up for the Scorpio collective. You might stumble upon this video after the week I mentioned. That's just fine. You're going to find it whenever you were meant to find it, whenever it was time for you to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for the collective. Not every single message is going to resonate, so take what does and leave what doesn't. So without further ado, my dears and my darlings, let's see what's coming up for my Scorpio brothers and sisters out there. What is coming up here for Scorpio collective? All right, move you all just a little bit closer. And the first card coming up here, is the Two of Cups. Okay. Now, Two of Cups is oftentimes seen as a love card or a romance card. I'm trying to eliminate this glare here. Bear with me. All right, I think there's some progress there. So Two of Cups is oftentimes seen as like a love and romance card. You all who watch my videos, you know that in the weekly forecast, I want to focus on you and your journey and not so much on love and other people. And I do the love readings separate and I link them in the description. There is, however, oftentimes a love and romance element associated with the Two of Cups. So when it comes up, we talk about it, but we also talk about it outside of love and romance. Within love and romance, the Two of Cups is like soulmate love, right? It's giver meets giver. And a lot of the times when you're a very giving person, you attract people who are takers. And Scorpio, right? Scorpio, we're very ride or die. Scorpio is like very loyal, right? We will go to the ends of the earth for the people that we love, for the people that we care about. We are fiercely loyal, and we will do whatever we need to do for the people that we care about. Unfortunately, that can attract people who just want to take and take and take. But when the Two of Cups comes up, as I said, this is a giver meets giver. So these are the kind of relationships or the connections that are gonna pretty much last forever, because both people are like, what can I do for my person today? How can I help them? How can I be of service? How can I show them that I love them or care about them? How can I be supportive today? So it's two people who are filling each other's cups. And so this is going to be a nice, reciprocal, healthy, balanced, harmonious union. Some of you are not focused on love at all. And some of you have decided you don't want love at all, right? So this could be coming up in other ways. It can be coming up in terms of friends. It can be coming up in terms of collaborations or partnerships. But the Two of Cups is reciprocal energy. The Two of Cups is going to be this harmony, this connection, this union. There's also with these dolphins here a sense of playfulness, right? And I feel like Scorpio, a lot of you may be going through inner child clearing or inner child work, and some of you are just eternal children, okay? Sometimes some of us, we feel, no matter how old we get, we still feel like a kid. Doesn't mean that we're immature. It's not a matter of immaturity, right? It's just that you're very in touch or very in tune with your inner child or your inner teenager. And so some of you maybe have had a hard time connecting with people as a result. And so this could be someone coming in, whether it's romantic or whether it's a friendship. I feel like if it's romantic or if it's a friendship, it is up to you and what you're manifesting and what you're calling in and what you're open to receiving. Is someone who is very much this way also. So there can be a sense of playfulness, like somebody that you can play with. Some of you have been really hungry to play or to have that lighter hearted energy, okay? So this could be somebody coming in with this energy, this similar playful, childlike, or youthful energy. I also feel with this lotus flower, this is somebody very spiritually awake, very spiritually in tune. And for some reason, as I'm looking at this card, you guys have seen me work with this deck for several readings. I use it here and there. It's not entirely new to me, and Two of Cups has come up several times. But for some reason, as I'm looking at it at this time, I feel like they're sitting at a table. And so I feel some of you may be called to like coffee or tea or dinner, maybe in the coming week. If it's not happening this week, there may be arrangements made this week for it to happen at another week. And so this could be that you're being called to get together, and you may have somebody who's like telling you that you have really influenced them, or you have really impacted them, or they feel like you all met for a reason. Maybe they don't know what it is right now, but like there's this sense of like, I want to be in each other's life, or I want to work together or collaborate together, or I want to date, or whatever it might be. But you might be receiving an invitation in which someone is wanting to express their feelings or how much you've inspired or impacted them. And they may be expressing to you, some intention for the future, or working together, dating, collaborating, whatever it might be. But for some reason, this feels to me like getting together. So someone may ask you to get together because they want to talk to you. Okay, Scorpio? The next card that's coming up for the Scorpio collective is the Six of Swords. Maybe you're being invited on a trip. And so the Six of Swords is a card that comes up when we're getting away from drama. It's very peaceful energy. It's a time where we can think. It's a time where we can figure out what we want to do. It's a time of self-discovery sometimes, and there can be a sense of travel with the Six of Swords. So some of you are not only being called for some kind of a meeting for coffee or tea or for dinner. There could be an invitation to go somewhere. Maybe somebody is inviting you on a trip, or inviting you to go visit them, or maybe somebody is wanting to set up a business someplace or relocate someplace, and they might think that they want you to be a part of that, and they're wanting you to go check it out or to see it. So there could be an element of travel, and there could be an element of travel or taking a trip. There could be an element of travel or taking a trip. Now, some of you have heard me talk about the Six of Swords in the past. This is a card that I see a lot of the times where you might be taking a trip where you're thinking of potentially or possibly, maybe you might relocate there one day in the future. Maybe you might go there years from now, or get settled in there years from now. But I've seen this happen a lot of the times, and some of you know I recently relocated, and I left Los Angeles, and even when I was setting out for this trip and I pulled cards, I pulled Six of Swords, and I thought, there's no way, like, I'm gonna come back. I'm not just gonna leave and not come back. And I left and I didn't come back. Six of Swords for me is like all of a sudden things fall into place, and you may end up relocating very suddenly, where it just kind of like you had it in your mind as like far off, but it ends up happening very quickly. So there could be a sudden relocation for some of you. You may go to a place and absolutely fall in love with it. And that's what happened with me. I went to visit a friend, and the next thing I knew, I was, signing a lease for a place. And so this could be something similar that some of you might be experiencing. Not all of you are going to relocate, obviously. Some of you may be taking a trip or being invited to take a trip. But for some of you, there could be an element of relocation. I can't remember which one of the signs it was for, but it was definitely in the love readings for May. Gosh, if you saw the love readings, let me know in the comments which sign this was for, because I can't remember. But Six of Swords came up for one of the signs, and so I got a feeling, or I got a sense of uh, an experience I had. And when Spirit shows me an experience I had, like Spirit is trying to say, this might be happening for this person, or this is the situation for this person. And something had happened to me, like a year ago, where somebody I was dating invited me to lunch, and I went to lunch, and they had recently broken up with somebody prior to dating me, and they had tickets to go to I won't say where, I don't want to like call anybody out, but it was to another state that I always wanted to go, and it was for like a family function, and they did not want to go alone, and they were like, will you please go with me? And I was not dating this person that long, and it was kind of like, I don't know, like I'm gonna go and meet this person's entire family. It was kind of very unexpected, so there could be something like that for some of you, where you're being called, but you're being invited to some kind of a trip. And maybe some of you are filling in for somebody else, right? Maybe someone was going to go to a wedding or to some kind of a family function, and they don't want to go alone, but they broke up with somebody, and they're wanting to know, will you go with me? Like, will you be there for me through this? Or this is like something that I want to experience, and I would love to like have you there or be there. So some of you might be invited on like a very unexpected trip. Because Spirit is showing me that, and I can't remember which sign it was, but it came up for one of the signs in the love readings, and Spirit is reminding me of it again here. So there could be something like that, where you're being invited on a trip. And maybe for some of you, like this trip might be a what I call the dangling carrot. Like Spirit will use a situation to get us to a certain place, because there's something we're meant to do there, or there's something like maybe you're just going on this trip to be there for somebody, or just kind of like for fun, but then you're getting out there and you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel really at home here, or I would love to live here. Or you may make really significant contacts that you might collaborate with in the future, or it might be like soul family or sense of community. So there could be a sense of travel for some of you. Okay, the next card that's coming up here for Scorpio is the Seven of Wands. And Seven of Wands to me kind of comes up to say, don't worry about taking things up a notch. Don't worry about going out of your way to prove yourself. Sometimes the Seven of Wands comes up for me to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this is not the time to be extra. And Scorpio, Scorpio can be very passionate about things. Like when we're excited about something, like we're all in, we're wholehearted. And Seven of Wands is just saying, look, this is not the time to go above and beyond. This is not the time to be extra. Just kind of play it cool. You're in a good place. You're in a good situation. There's no need to kick things up a notch, so to speak. So, maybe some of you, there is an offer coming in, right? Maybe for some of you, it's a collaboration or a job. Don't go in there burning the candles at both ends, trying to prove yourself and trying to show how dedicated and capable and willing you are. Don't go over the top. It's not necessary, right? You're already in good standing, and you don't want to set a bar so high that you're not going to be able to come in with that same energy all the time, right? It's like if you were to start a new job and you're giving it 200%. You can't go 200% 365 days of the year for the rest of the time until you retire. You got to keep things at a pace that you can handle, at a pace that you can deliver. So I just feel a sense here with the Seven of Wands that it's important to be yourself. That's the feeling and the vibe I'm getting. Some of you have heard me talk about Seven of Wands as like people trying to antagonize you or pull you into drama. And I'm not getting that sense, right? We have the 6 of Swords here, so there is no drama, right? It's not about anybody pulling you into drama. In this sense, intuitively, I feel this is the need for you to just kind of, stay where you're at and just be yourself. Be yourself. No need to be extra right now, right? The next card that's coming up here for you all is the Hermit. And so this is a major arcana card. The major arcana cards are going to come up anytime that we're at a significant new chapter in our life, a significant crossroads, something along those lines, something directly connected to what we came here to learn, what we came here to accomplish. The Hermit, maybe some of you are coming out of hermit mode. Maybe some of you have been in hermit mode for quite some time, and you may be coming out of hermit mode, and you may be stepping into like now where you're ready to be seen. Maybe you're stepping into a role as a leader or mentor or spiritual teacher. The Hermit is also associated with the astrological sign of Virgo. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo or someone who has a Virgo placement. If you are a Scorpio, like myself, who has a Virgo placement, a lot of us Scorpios, at least the ones that watch these videos, have Virgo placement. And so if you have a Virgo placement, there can be big changes or big shifts happening for you in that area of your life or in those houses. So moon, rising, Venus, or in certain houses, there could be big changes or big shifts happening for you where you may have Virgo placements. Overall, it feels very positive and very happy. There could be something here where some of you are awakening to spiritual gifts. This little owl is really jumping out at me. It's making me think of a funny story back when I was married and I was living in Florida. I don't know how this type of owl showed up in Florida, but it ended up landing on our house. And I was married and living with my husband's parents at the time, and my mother-in-law despised me. And she called the church elders, and she's like, "There's a owl that's been perched on our house," and they were Romanian, so I guess in their culture that was like a really bad omen. And she's like, "My daughter-in-law is a witch. My daughter-in-law brought the owl here," and she kept telling me I was a witch, and she kept telling me that I was doing like psychic stuff and all this. And I wasn't at the time. I had never even touched a deck of tarot cards, nothing like that. But she was like, "You brought the owl here because you're a witch and you're doing witchcraft." And I wasn't doing anything tarot, anything witchcraft. But for some reason, that owl is jumping out at me. So there could be something that's coming up for some of you Scorpios. Maybe people are coming to you and they're like, "You're a healer, or you're gifted, or you're psychic." The first time I did a reading, someone approached me and was like, "Hey, you have a really good intuition. Will you please give me a reading?" And I was like, "I've never done a reading in my life." Some of you might have that kind of experience. There could be somebody that's coming to you and saying, "Hey, you have spiritual gifts, or you have spiritual abilities," or people might be seeing or sensing that maybe there's something a little bit different about you. You have a different quality, you have a different energy, you have a different aura. People might be approaching you and commenting to you about that. But these cards are very positive, so I feel like even if that's the case, it would be people who are supportive of it or open to it. Maybe for some of you, you have been on a spiritual path, and maybe that's been a challenge for you with the friends you grew up with or with your family. Maybe it's been challenging in your love life. But here in this sense, I feel like there's a sense of like it being accepted, it being respected, it being seen as something good. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign. Some weeks those might resonate more for you than your sun sign. Love readings for April are linked in the description. May love readings are up. They are in the video tab of the channel. You may want to schedule a private reading with me. There's a link in the description of the video that will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite. You can schedule a private reading with me there. And don't forget to check out the daily messages. I've been posting a card of the day. Check those out as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, Scorpios. Take care, my dears.